The patient's blood pressure is crashing. They are on maximum doses of vasopressors just to keep their heart beating. But now their kidneys have completely failed. We need to clear the toxins from their blood, but hooking them up to a standard dialysis machine right now would be a lethal mistake. I'm Brooke Wallace. Over my 20 years as an ICU nurse and clinical educator, I've had to navigate this exact scenario countless times, bridging the gap between textbook physiology and the high-stakes reality of the bedside. If you want to master critical care topics and learn how to handle these exact situations, make sure to subscribe and visit supernurse.ai for more resources. Here is the core problem. A healthy kidney processes about 1,200 milliliters of blood every single minute. When those organs shut down, fluid and toxic waste products immediately start accumulating in the body. This chart shows the danger of using intermittent hemodialysis, or IHD, on a fragile patient. IHD pulls 2 to 3 liters of fluid in just 4 hours. For a patient whose cardiovascular system is barely holding on, that steep drop causes total cardiovascular collapse. That is why we rely on continuous renal replacement therapy, or CRRT. Instead of a rapid 4-hour sprint, it runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, drying off fluid continuously. It's the difference between chugging a gallon of water all at once and sipping it slowly throughout the day. Treating kidney failure in the intensive care unit is a delicate balancing act. We have to filter the blood while keeping a highly unstable cardiovascular system perfectly intact. To understand the machine, we look to the native human kidney. Inside, there are about 1 million functional units called nephrons. Blood flows into a structure called the glomerulus, which filters out waste, while the surrounding tubules actively reabsorb the water and electrolytes the body needs to keep. The CRRT circuit acts as an artificial glomerulus. It pulls blood from the patient and dramatically slows it down to a gentle flow rate of 150 to 250 milliliters per minute. The blood then enters the filter, traveling through thousands of microscopic hollow fiber membranes. This diagram illustrates diffusion, the physical principle driving CVVHD mode. Blood flows down one side of the membrane while dialysate is pumped in the exact opposite direction. This creates a concentration gradient, actively pulling small toxic molecules out of the blood. This shows convection driving CVVH mode. Positive pressure pushes plasma water out of the blood, creating solvent drag that pulls medium-sized toxins along. To prevent blood pressure from bottoming out, a specialized replacement fluid is administered directly into the circuit. At the bedside, we frequently combine these two modes into a single therapy called CVVHDF. It utilizes diffusive clearance for small toxins and convective volume control for larger ones simultaneously. The physician explicitly details these parameters on a therapy prescription. This document dictates the precise flow rates for the dialysate, the replacement fluids, and the net patient fluid removal. There is no magic happening inside the CRRT machine. We are strictly applying the physics of diffusion and convection to artificially execute the exact biological duties of a failed organ. Running this therapy requires an intense level of manual tracking. The bedside nurse is responsible for calculating the patient's exact fluid inputs and outputs every single hour, down to the milliliter. You can see the exactness required in these standard operational instructions. The protocol mandates documenting fluid balances exactly 1 minute before the hour begins. If a pressure alarm goes off and pauses the machine for 10 minutes, the fluid removal stops. The nurse must then recalculate the math and carefully adjust the removal rate to catch up over the next few hours, ensuring they don't cause a rapid fluid shift. The most common complication throwing off that math is the body's own defense mechanism. Blood outside the body naturally wants to clot, and a single clot will permanently ruin the artificial filter. This flowchart explains our primary defense, regional citrate anticoagulation. Before the blood enters the filter, we add citrate. The citrate binds to the calcium ions present in the blood, effectively turning off the clotting cascade and allowing the blood to pass cleanly through the machine. But returning blood with zero active calcium is incredibly dangerous. As the blood exits the filter, the nurse must perfectly replace that bound calcium. If the infusion rate is off, the patient will lose their ability to clot and could bleed out internally. CRRT is a life-sustaining therapy based entirely on basic physics. We use it because the slow, continuous approach is the only intervention gentle enough for the sickest patients in the hospital. The machine provides the physical mechanism, but the hypervigilance, the chemical math, and the bedside critical thinking of the ICU nurse are what actually keeps the patient alive. I'm Brooke Wallace. Thanks for watching, and remember to visit supernurse.ai to keep leveling up your clinical skills. Hey, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what topics you want to see more of and how I can help you become the super nurse you were born to be. I hope to see you here again real soon.